Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is Kibera News Network, your number one Kibera News channel. We are coming to you live on YouTube from Uweza Foundation. Uweza Foundation is located along Karanja Road, slightly opposite Kibera Primary. The program is Sisi Mtani, where we tell our own stories in our own perspective, stories by us, with us, and for us. And today in the house we have none other than Nicholas Kennedy Juma. Karibu sana kwenye nyumba.
Thank you, brother, for having me.
You have very foreign names.
Yeah, well, I was born Kennedy Juma Okello.
Kennedy Juma Okello.
Okello is my father's name. Okay. And along the way, I'm an Anglican.
Okay.
I belong to the ACK Church. So when later on in life, I was baptized Nicholas Kennedy Juma Okello.
Ah, Nicholas Kennedy Juma Okello.
Yeah, many people ask me, where is your Luo name?
Yeah. So your Luo name is Okello?
Yeah. My Luo name is my father's name.
Okay.
But the remaining names, I go by Nicholas Kennedy Juma. Okay. Yes.
Where does Okello come from? Where's your village? Up country?
Yeah, Okello hails from a village called Sakwaora.
Sakwaora.
Somewhere.
Is this in Bondo?
This is in Bondo.
Okay.
Or Sierra County.
Okay.
Yes. One of the landmarks that is famously known for our area is Migwena.
Migwena.
Yeah, so...
near Migweno Kings, or is it near Kina?
Migwena Kings, the late Omondi Longlilo.
Yeah.
He comes from my neighborhood.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Could even be your distant cousin.
Not really, but we all hail from Sakwa. Yes. Yes.
Is that route that goes to Uyoma, yeah?
Yeah, it is that route that goes to Uyoma. But somewhere in the middle, there's a branch that you take. Okay. Yeah, towards the lake. So that is the path that leads you to my home village.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you find yourself in Kibera?
Well, my father came to Nairobi in the early 70s. Okay. Late 60s, early 70s. And when he came around, he had a stint in Isili. That is where he started his journey. Still a young man looking for a job. Yeah. Getting to know what will he do in life. Then later on, you know, in the olden days, people used to camp in a house like even 5 or 6 people. So when he started getting his roots, then he moved from Isili to Majengo. Okay. Then from Majengo, he later found himself living in Kibera, Lindi, to be precise, in a place called Karumaindo. Karumaindo in Lindi. In Lindi. Okay. For many people who are born and bred in Lindi, they know Karumaindo. Yeah. Yes. So that is how then when he started life, and later on he came to Kibera. Yeah. And myself and my brother, I come from a family of 9. 9. And so I'm the third born in the family of 9.
How many girls, how many boys?
Yeah, 5 boys, 4 girls. 4 girls, yeah. Unfortunately, 2 girls have passed on, and our last born brother also passed on sometimes in 2015.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so
now you are left 7.
We are left 7. Okay. Yes.
Is your father still in Lindi?
My father lived in Lindi from 1981. Okay. And went back home in the year 2009. Okay. So as we speak, he hails in the village. In the village. He takes care of the boma. Yes. How about the mom? My mom too also lives in the village. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And your other siblings are in town? Yes, my other siblings, I have a brother who is in Eastlands. Okay. He moved to Eastlands. My elder brother is in the village. He works in Bondo town. Okay. My other brother is also in the village. And so I'm here with my second last born brother. Yeah. Then I have my 2 sisters who are now remaining behind, and they all reside in Kisumu.
Okay.
Yes.
The brother lives with you in your house, or he has his own house?
He has his own house, or he has also started his own family.
His family.
Yes.
Okay.
But in the early years, when immediately when he finished high school, I used to live with him.
With him.
And so I gave him the blessings to also go and see.
Go out there and
start your own life.
Okay.
Yes.
So for you still live in Lindi?
For me, I still live in Lindi.
Is that where you started, or you moved with your father from Isli to Majengo to?
No, me, I was born in Kibera.
Oh, you were born?
By the time my dad was relocating from Majengo, I was not yet born.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So you were born and raised here in Lindi?
Yes, born and raised here, but my life has been home.
Yeah.
And here.
Okay.
Home in the sense that sometimes early in 1990, my dad lost his job. And when he lost his job, my mom decided to go and settle up country.
Yeah.
You know how life can be difficult when you've got no work to do and you've got a family to feed. And so that led to my mom taking the early decision of going back to up country.
Okay.
And so from there then we could only come to Nairobi over the holidays, and not really all the holidays.
To visit your dad?
To visit my dad.
Yeah.
And when schools resume again, we will go back to the village. But I was lucky because again, I started now, the last time, from when I was in Standard 4, I used to frequent the city.
Okay.
Over April holidays, August holidays, and December holidays.
Yeah.
And so I identify myself both in the village and also in the city.
You fit well in both locations?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So your primary school you did in the village, the whole of it, or?
I started schooling here in Kisumundogo.
Okay.
If you know where Kisumundogo primary is, that is where I started my
I know. Did it move? Was it closed down? Something?
Somehow closed down. I don't think whether they are still in session. Okay. And so that is where I got my early education. Then when my mom moved to up country, we had to be there together. And from there then I joined my village school called Mitiro Primary School. Mitiro
Primary School.
Yes. And later on I proceeded with my primary school until I sat for my KCPE.
Okay.
Within at Mitiro Primary.
Okay.
So after sitting for my KCPE, I came into the city when results were out, the same way results do come out. I was here with my dad, and he was like, I want you to school around. And I was like, me schooling around, and I had an uncle of the late Peter who was opposed to me schooling here. And he was saying, Kennedy should just be in schools in Nyanza.
In the village,
In the village. And so my dad even went further and went to Langata High School to secure for me a space there.
Chance,
But then when my mom also joined hands with my uncles, then they decided, no, let us have Kennedy in the village and let him school around.
Dad.
Yes. And so then I joined Akoko Secondary School.
Oh, you went to Akoko?
Yes. Again, still in Bondo, within Osia County. And so that is where I also again studied from Form 1 to Form 4. Yes.
Wow. That must have been a very interesting balance, town, village. So how has COVID affected you? You know, Corona came and things were bad. Personally, how has this affected you?
Well, Corona came with its own myriad of challenges. And I know many people.
And affecting can mean both negative and positive.
Yes. Looking at the environment that we hail, it was really difficult because getting to have free movement was something that was unheard of at some point. Later again in the stages, I was diagnosed, and when I went for testing, I tested positive.
Oh, you tested positive?
Not once, not twice.
Allah?
And again, I was encouraged to again go for a third one. And so this led to me being in isolation.
Okay.
For a period of 1 month, not reporting to work. The people at work also will not want to see you out. Or you just being reported that you are walking around or mingling with people. And so I really found it difficult. And
in a confined environment.
Yes.
You were isolated where? In your own house or at the hospital?
In my own house.
Okay.
And so I have my son, who is the youngest, was really like, Baba, are you today going to work?
Yeah.
They saw me the first week and there was that excitement. My dad is around, he could go to school, come back, find me around. So there was that excitement. But again, I found that it was really demoralizing. Again, you are a man of out and about. Yeah. Then you are now being informed you should not just move out. Yeah. And it really brought a lot of problems to me personally in terms of mingling and also going about my day-to-day activities.
Yeah, you are used to moving up.
And now I can't.
You're forced to be just at one place.
Yes. And this news again never sank well with my mom because I'm alone. I live with my kids. Okay. As I'm the mom and I'm the dad. And so it was really difficult. And when this information reached home, and every time she could call, how are you coping?
Check on you.
To check on me. How are you doing with the kids? Have they been affected too? And so that really had much on me. But again, I thank God that we were able to weather the storms.
You overcame.
Yeah, I overcame and reported, again resumed work.
Why did your children got affected as well?
No.
Okay. How did you manage? Like, you are the one to help them around and you are COVID positive, you need to keep social distance, but you like...
Yeah, at some point I used to survive just with concussion. I just do lemon and hot water. Yeah. But again, just being around with them and letting them know the situation that I am in, they were not really surprised. And I thank God because He's great. What I was going through, my kids, I never passed that to them.
How many are they, kids?
I'm a proud father of 5.
Okay, 5.
Yeah, these are 5 sons. And
5 sons?
Yeah, I'm a father of 5 sons.
No daughter?
God's plans.
Yeah, that's God's plan.
Yeah, God's plans. So I have one son who lives with my mom in upcountry. When their mom passed on, and after the burial, my mom did request that I leave the boy behind to be with her. Yeah. And so when I came back to the city, I came with the 3 sons.
Is he the firstborn? The one that left in the village?
Second lastborn.
Okay.
His second lastborn.
Why did she choose some
at some point in life, when the mom was still again around, he had a stint staying with my mom in upcountry, and so there is that bonding, the bonding that they had created. And my mom also felt that I could be overwhelmed in the city and with the children, and she was like, hey, what can we do? Of what help can we give you? But again, I have kids who they can't really stay away freely from me. They are so attached to me. But once in a while, I make a trip to upcountry just to see how he's faring on. And also we keep in touch over the phone. So there's that constant communication, and also just wanting to know, not me even wanting to know how he's coping, but even him wanting to know how his other siblings are doing, and how myself I'm doing. And
so you do a lot of phone calls, sometimes video call?
Videos, unless my sisters are home.
Okay.
Yeah, that is when we can do some video chat.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
You know, that time Corona was so up here and everyone was afraid of COVID. And whenever someone hears that their loved ones is positive, that was a big scare, you know. So I imagine how your mom would feel. And, you know, and you said you got tested how many times?
I got tested 3 times.
And all these turned positive?
All these turned positive until I convinced myself that it is just homa.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you go when you are having.
So what was happening? Like the first time you got tested, what happened? You started seeing the symptoms, and or was it an order from the work that people get tested?
Well, apart from being an order from work, it was just prudent. Yeah. Because your life is everything. Yeah. And when you see people going for testing, at first I was adamant. I was like so reluctant. Why will I go for it? And if anything, I haven't seen someone who has been severely affected by this. But then through chats with colleagues whom we are with at work, I found it necessary that it was time I go.
Saw the need.
Yeah, I saw the need. And also I never just looked at myself. I looked at the people also around me. And that, again, you could not rubbish away the fact that we share an environment. When I go to work, I share environment with my kids. Or I also live in the neighborhood where interaction is paramount. And therefore, you just knowing yourself was extremely important. So from that background of knowledge, then it made me to take the step to go for testing. So when I went for the first testing, when the results were out, positive, and I was advised to stay away, or to isolate myself. After 2 weeks, I haven't felt better still. And again as a requirement before you resume again work, go for another test. To be sure. Unfortunately, again, I turned positive. Yeah, and I never really came out and started sharing this because one, you could scare away people, and even my children. I just told them that I'm having some off days, and so I'll be around for some time, and you will be seeing me frequently. And so I never just went home and told them, you know, this COVID thing, I'm positive and all that. No. I kept it just for myself and a few close friends.
So the kids didn't know that you were...
No, the kids, I never...
Up to now?
I never mentioned this to them, that I was positive. But then at some point, when we were now just interacting and sharing stories, and me insisting that everyone should be putting on a mask, especially when they're going to school and stuff. And I started coming with this, staff's home, doing a lot of hand washing and sanitizing. Then they came to realize, and they were like, when they play around, you know, me, my dad, babangu achezi na mambo hii ya COVID. And so he encouraged us to put on mask and stuff.
I was very strict on it.
Yeah, but again, by and large, it again came also with some positivity in it. And, of the fact that we were able, and I was part of the team, and from where I work, we had an opportunity to support the community that we work in through foundations and organizations that were also willing to support livelihoods at those critical moments. Almost everyone was vulnerable, including those who are employed. Or guys had been asked to work from home, or some were working from home, some had lost their jobs. And you see, again, having partners who could come in to just ask institutions like the institution I work for that, hey, how can you guys, I know you work with a pool of young people and households, then how could you be of help to help us mobilize people who are really in dire need or that could be supported? And so through the Give Direct initiative, we were able to support hundreds of households just to put food on their table. Yes.
At least. And the World Food Program, did you also work with them?
Yes, we also worked with the World Food Program, and we also recruited beneficiaries for the same. Unfortunately, not everyone that you get to recruit benefited, and again, they also had some set of structured way of how they were sieving information from people, and therefore people could be asked to answer certain questions. If you don't answer them rightfully, then you could be put out of the list. And so again, that never sank well with other members of the community, and some said, this biasness, or it is being given to people that are known to those who are recruiting. But again, when you're working in a community, or like our community, and even other communities, not just the Kibera community, and where guys are vulnerable, and there's an opportunity for something to be given, or people tend to misuse the opportunity or at some point. But again, for us, there was that openness, and I thought we did well, and personally, I also did well on what I could do within that particular moment.
So whoever got something, got something.
Whoever got something, got something. And again, moving around, just sensitizing the community on the need to really advocate for WASH in the community was also a plus that I also witnessed during the difficult moments of the pandemic.
Did you get stigmatized yourself when you turned out to be positive? Did you face any stigmatization?
Not really. Same way the way I was telling you at the beginning that I took a low profile. Would I have gone out and started publicizing things, making it known? I just
decided to.
I have a friend of mine by the name Pablo Selassie. Pablo Selassie hails in Lainisaba. And this is a guy that I've grown up respecting and knowing for years. And I opened up and told him, Selassie, I've gone for the test, and I came out to be positive. But being a heretical, Rasta to speak, he told me, don't worry. And I could take some nights at his place. And we could even share beddings with him. And at times he makes a joke, you guys say that COVID kills. Kennedy was diagnosed, and we were still close. We were still close. And so I think he had that big heart, because so many people, when they hear that you are within or you are positive and stuff like that, they could not really allow. But again, he's also a guy who keeps a lot of words in his chest, so he never went around
sharing
or telling people, Kennedy is positive and all that. And so that is how I overcame it. And even at sometimes my boys could come to Pablo's place just to check on me on their way to school, and even when they are back home.
Pablo's place became like another isolation place.
Yes, Pablo's place became an isolation space for myself.
Big up very much. Big up.
Big up Pablo Selassie. Respect.
That's a good friendship.
Man.
True to the heart.
Yes.
Wow, and you overcame it.
Yes.
That's great. And now, tell us, how has your life been growing up in Kibera and life in the slum? How has it been for you? What are some of the challenges you've gone through and overcame at the same time?
Thank you, Josh. It has not been an easy hustle. Growing up in the ghetto. But again, I must say that first things first is the friends that you choose to be around with. Many a times people blame the environment that we hail from, all people from the ghetto, our ABCD and stuff. But at the beginning, when I was still a young boy, I had a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities in the sense that we have been brought up in an environment where people appreciate each other.
Yeah.
And so I had the love for soccer.
Okay.
And the love for soccer made me to have friends.
A lot of friends.
From across the divide. And so a lot of things that have been affecting people in the community, issues around tribalism and stuff, I grew up not knowing those.
Okay.
I had friends whom we were united through the power of soccer, or from different backgrounds. Again, growing up in the community at times has got a lot of peer pressure.
Yeah.
Peer pressure in the sense that if I can start narrating my friends, close friends, those whom we were with starting from childhood, growing up, or who succumbed to that death due to some were killed or turned to be robbers. It has not. It was really not easy coping up and really getting out of all this.
Yeah.
These are friends that you are close with. They go out, they do their stuffs, they come back. And at some point, I was in the middle of all this where. At some point, I kept guns for rude boys.
Oh, really?
I kept guns for rude boys.
Yeah.
The only
in the ghetto here.
In the ghetto here. The only salvation that I had that I never made it to the highway. Okay. When I talk of making it to the highway, is joining the team. Yeah. To also just test and see how things were going on. Yeah. But they were safe with me.
In your house?
In my house.
Did you feel scared or afraid, or you were just okay?
No, being a man of the people.
Yeah.
And I would say then back I was one of the rude boys. So you know when you are a rude boy, yeah, people and we really had that interaction. And
I know rude boys don't care.
They don't care, but again, people get along, and when you see friends who come around and they're like, hey, Kennedy, we are going for this, and we want you to do for us this. Yeah. So at times, the house could be where people come to do the division. You see, once guys are out and people will come or do the sharing, they could leave you with your share.
Okay, for the safekeeping.
Yeah, for the safekeeping.
Yeah.
And I had a very disturbing landlord at some point. Okay. And there's a day, the plots, you see how the houses are structured. And there's a day, one of the young guys came and instead of informing me that he had left his machine at my place, he never informed me, but then decided to put it in a house that was empty. Somebody had left that house. And so I had a landlord that when he comes in the morning, he shouts loud. And so if you are still asleep, he will alert you. Then you will get out or wake up.
He comes in the morning to do what?
Just checking. He's just doing some routine.
He was also living just within?
Just in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, and he had some rumors.
Oh, yeah.
And at some point, he even stopped me along the way. And he was like, Kennedy, the chief says that Manabunduki, he talks that way. And I was like, if the chief says that I have a gun, then let the chief come for me. Yeah. Or if he has equally sent you, then go tell him that I don't have one. Yeah. So those were my words to the old man. Yeah. And so he told me, no, I'll make sure that you get out of my house. And I was like, okay, if that will be what it takes.
Yeah.
Then let us wait for that opportune moment.
Yeah.
Then if that time will come, but for meantime, let me be around, and if they find it necessary, because what you are saying, I'm still treating it as a rumor, because I never knew even at first how word got out. But you see, when you are in a group, and
the truth is, you had them in your house.
I never owned.
Yeah.
But I could keep one or two.
Yeah.
At some point in life, and so all those who are taking care or handling those perished along the way.
Okay.
And that is when my good friend introduced me to community work.
Okay.
The good friend by the name Abraham is known as Coach Abra.
Coach Abra.
He's currently the head coach of Undugu family.
Okay.
Yes.
He hails from that side of Undugu.
He hails from Shilanga.
Shilanga,
Yeah, and in our early days, being called for seminars and going for trainings, which started with Kiko Shape. Yeah. And we also had a lot of workshops that were being organized by the likes of my good friend Kefangito, who had then started KCYP. And so we could...
You also joined KCYP at some point?
Yeah, I was in KCYP at some point when they were doing some auditions. There were some drama skits and stuff.
Yeah.
And now that, because we never had much to do in the village, we could, those were the avenues where we could go and take time and really get to see what we could do. Then came Kiko Shape, and through Kiko Shape, that is where we also started going for a lot of seminars and just being enlightened about community work and stuff. Then,
at this point, your friends who you had the guns had perished, and you have seen the sense and the danger of being in this kind of network.
Some had relocated outside Kibera, or some were still going on with the activities. Okay. But we had just lost tabs.
Oh, you lost tabs.
I decided to be myself.
Is it because of Abraham, your friend, or this was just a personal decision?
One personal decision, but the influence that also Abra brought with him or to me also played a critical role in my life.
Because then you'd find something else to do.
I would find something else to do. Yeah. And then Carolina for Kibera had started. Okay. And so it is Abraham who introduced me to CFK. To CFK. Wow. And it was like we had organized for some engagement. We had organized for a tournament. We had a youth group by the name Ethiopia Youth Foundation. Yeah. And Ethiopia Youth Foundation was an organization that was made up of, it was more of a Rasta family. It was a dreadlocks family, Ethiopia Foundation. Okay. And so that is the family that I found myself, and that is where I was cultured and brought up, and the transformation agenda that started happening in my life or started with Ethiopia. So when you want to mention and really get to know who Kennedy Juma is, then you will start with Ethiopia. And many people in the community, I have a nickname, Banton. They call me Banton.
From Buju Banton?
From Buju Banton, because those early days. And so my love for music and soccer is what made me to fit into the Ethiopia crew family.
Okay, music, reggae specifically.
Specifically reggae music. Yes, and soccer. Really made me to gel well and fit in with the team. And they were all humble guys. Majority of
did they have dreadlocks?
They had dreadlocks. Those were the days when dreadlocks was unheard of. You could not pass by a police man or woman just freely without being stopped.
It's a crime already.
Yeah, we were like, mark them. Yeah, so to speak. And I see today people flossing around and
with their
dreadlocks freely. and I said we paid the price at some point.
You.
Or myself, I never had dreadlocks, but
it was at heart.
It was at
you
heart.
You are Rasta at heart.
Yeah, Rasta at heart, and I'm still Rasta at heart.
Wow.
Yes.
So happy dread to be Rasta.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all those happened, and when Abraham took me to Carolina for Kibera, we had just concluded a small tournament over December holidays.
Yeah.
We had said, we're having 4 weeks actually, of closure, and we were like, what can we do with the young people?
Yeah.
And so word went out. Abraham was already involved with Carolina for Kibera, and there was this league tournament, the championship, that was running from April to November.
Yeah.
And so come December, it was just a free month, and there was nothing. And so Abra brought this to Ethiopia and said, hey guys, we need to do something.
Yeah.
We had gone for some 6-a-side tournament in Kawangware, and we won a small trophy. And he said, instead of this trophy lying here, we can engage the young people and have this trophy availed to them as part of appreciation. And so we bought into this idea. And so the field that we were using was Langata, open field, where now the bypass took over, and also the Undugu field. And this really went along and gave birth to teams that I see today. Okay. Football teams and young people that I see today. Coaches who
originated from the Ethiopia.
They played, it was Lions Cup.
Yeah.
We dubbed it Lions Cup.
Yeah.
And the Lions Cup brought teams. What is now known as Shofco FC was then DX United.
Okay. By then.
And I think along the way, the founder of Shofco came to meet Ken. So the coach for DX was Ken. The current coach of Shofco or United is called Kennedy Onyango.
Oh,
so
I thought you were talking of Ken Odede.
Then Ken Odede, now the founder of Shofco.
Yeah.
So when Ken met Ken somewhere in Langata, and I think they talked.
They talked and agreed.
And there was this transition where now DX transitioned now and adopted the new name Shofco. And I think those were the early days when Shofco was just starting. Yeah. And I'm proud when I see the likes of Ken doing good work in the community, keeping young people together and really growing talent, and I see them shining. Then it is a plus. The other guy whom I also respect so much is Coach Benjamin Kipruto.
Coach Benjamin Kipruto, this man called Abraham. Ken, you are being mentioned here. Big up, man. You are doing good job in the community.
Coach Benjamin Kipruto is the guy who has nurtured the talents of the likes of Marcelo, who is now playing in Sweden. Yes, and in the early days, he was part of the Lions Cup tournament. And Marcelo played in the Lions Cup tournament during those days. We had great gentlemen like Lucas Guehona. Lucas Guehona, known as Luque. If you go to Olympic, those are the brains behind Interbase. The Interbase that is now happening in Olympic together with the likes of Savi or Totti, if you may call it.
You are proud to see this happening, and you have been part of it, were you a player yourself? Did you play?
I played soccer, but not competitive. Yes, but when
you have the love of soccer.
I have the love of soccer, and I have that has even now been passed to my sons. And they are also doing well in that particular field. And just being part of the guys that sanitized football or in this community. I can't stand up in many platforms and say that that we sanitized football. Or sanitation in the sense that in the good old days, people could just walk in.
Yeah.
You could find someone who is 17 years old playing with 13 years olds. There was nothing like age.
Age, yeah.
And when I talk of sanitization, it is us who brought the age bracket that if you are under 11, fit within your category.
Yeah.
If you are under 13, be in your category.
Yeah.
And that really worked well. I see coaches like now Vijago, Vijago who coaches Kibera soccer, and big up, congratulations to Vijago.
Yeah.
Just the other day he graduated with class B.
Okay.
Yeah, and these are coaches that we are looking up to, and really seeing that these are the people who are now going to take our football to the next level. Yeah. And it is really in order to support them, hail them, and give them the necessary support that they require. The other character who is also, I can't forget to mention, which is now the current assistant coach of KCB. KCB. That is Solo. I call him Solomonic. Solomonic. Yeah, Solomonic. A very strong guy. During his early days, he even featured for Tusker FC. Okay. He's the guy who stood with Kibera Black Stars when they were at the NSL, and now doing very well and even giving opportunities for young people like Thierry from Gatwekera, who is now playing for KCB, or giving young people time like Messi, who is now also applying his trade for KCB from Lexus FC. And when I sit and look at all this, I look at the likes of, I grew up with Jerry Monyango, now in the technical bench of Harambee Stars, and also in the technical bench of Gor Mahia. And all these are proud people from our neighborhood. Coach Maurice Onyango. Yeah, these are people who really took football in this community to the next level. Yeah. My brother, whom we also worked with at CFK at some point, that is Cantona from Makina. These are guys who are passionate about soccer and really did what was within their reach, just to ensure that young people were given opportunity. And I think through this there was that transformation, and this really made me think, because I could have died. You could have died. Yeah. Had it not been for the power of football. Yeah. And had it not been for people like Abraham Wandui, who introduced me to community work, then I was of no different with those who perished. True. And so I give thanks and really appreciate where we are coming from, and the many people that we've dined with. We've had a lot of struggles, and we still keep tabs, and just seeing on how soccer and football is growing within the community, the likes of Akina Adoli, Adoli of Kibera Hamlet, who is now doing well, and is now having a school in Migori called Migori Educational Center. Okay. These are people that we started with from humble backgrounds in this community, and they are now doing well. And you've seen each other rise. We've seen each other rise. Mention the likes of Ben Oko, who is Amani Kibera, doing amazing work with Amani Kibera, and many of these people that I might not mention all, the likes of Oyamo, Josephat, who hails in Undugu Shilanga. These are guys, Gaucho, young people from Lainisaba, who have really done all they could. You coach Orosia from Mashimoni. These are people who have really nurtured talents. And so these are all people, people like Doik from here along Karanja Road. Seems like your life has been so much around soccer and football. Yes. Thank you very much, guys. Keep watching. This is Sisi Mtani on Kibera News Network live on YouTube from Uweza Foundation. If you want to reach us through WhatsApp 0794 590404 and let us know what you think. If you have any questions for Kennedy, you can also reach us through our YouTube comment section and let us know if you have any questions or comment or anything you'd want us to know. Keep watching, keep it locked.
Now, you are still with Carolina for Kibera.
Yes.
What exactly are you doing? Are you on the sports section, or what else are you doing there?
Yeah, good to mention Carolina for Kibera.
Yeah.
We are rebranding.
Rebranding?
Yes.
Okay.
We are rebranding just the same way you can get out your old furnitures and bring new.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens in stages of life.
Yeah.
And therefore, organizations are not exceptional.
True.
Yeah, we are rebranding, and we've maintained the initials CFK. That is the Carolina for Kibera. But we are now known as CFK Africa.
Aha, CFK Africa.
Yes, or CFK Africa. And
meaning you are now working across Africa, or what?
Yes, that is where we aspire to be.
Okay.
To be working and influencing policy developments in Africa and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, as part of our expansion plan, we are spreading our wings into 8 additional counties. Yes, this is in line with our strategic plan 2021-2025, and this will see CFK. We've started small, and with the pandemic, we have started getting into counties with the WASH initiative. Okay. We are in Mombasa. We will be working in Mombasa. We will be working in Kilifi.
Wow.
We will be working in Machakos. Okay. We will be working in Kiambu. We will be working in Kajiado. We will be in Nakuru. And we will also be along the lake. That is Kisumu County.
Wow.
So that is CFK
plans.
Africa for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, moving into the future. Now, Kennedy Juma, and what I do at CFK. Currently, I'm a project officer in charge of the Sports for Peace and Development initiative. And we are anchored under what I will call the education and livelihood. Education and livelihood. Yes, education and livelihood, in the sense that what we are currently doing, and you've even seen posts around in social media, staunch members of our community and those, the soccer lovers, asking, Carolina, you guys have scaled down on the soccer tournaments that you used to do. What have you left now for the young people to do? And so we have scaled down in terms of work that we do regarding talent promotion. And what we are currently doing is that we are working with schools. Okay. We are working with schools, and we are also working with select community teams, and with biasness of young people who are 15 years and below. We call them youth at risk. Youth at risk. At risk of either you look at the environment that we hail in, or they can easily join, or they can be going to drugs or gangs. And so this is the perfect time to really nurture them as they move into the future. We've got also a lot of underage crime within schools, or even young people. You see, crime starts small. You can start by picking people's pens. Yes. So you've got what we will call viruses. A disease called viruses. So you are fond of picking people's pens. If you are not tamed, or if you are not looked at keenly, then you will start in you. It grows in you. And you will now move from school to even your household. Or from pens to something else. And you can even sneak into neighborhood and start doing all this. So when we went, we did a survey. And these were some of the things that we got from young people. Issues of drug abuse, aspects of issues of SGBV. We've known schools to be safe spaces. But you realize that young people still go to schools, and they still also get discriminated within this kind of spaces. Even back home, a lot of sexual gender-based violence that happens within the families. The mom fights with the dad, and the kids are there. These affects their life and the choices that they make, also in life. We also had the issues of crime, which is this time round, crime knows no gender. Bwana Josh. Even girls, even ladies
get themselves into crime.
They get themselves into crime. And
why do you think this happened? What causes this? Because it used to not to be like that.
Well, there's a lot of peer pressure, but again, the young people also want ready-made.
Ready-made.
Yeah, the young people are so much into ready-made, and people don't want to take time to build.
Yeah.
But if we go into where there's something to grab, then people find it easy to do that. So a lot of peer pressure, a lot of lack of parental guidance. When we were carrying out this baseline survey, a lot of young people really had problems with how they are being brought or in their respective families. And therefore, there's a lot of, there's a lack of parental guidance that is also moving. And there's this issue of, mtoto wangu yuko kama pamba. Anapampiwa. And when you take issues to the door, my son can't get involved in that, my girl is clean. And when you don't take, when you are not a keen listener, and there's also what we call absentee parents. People wake up early, people come back late, and you wonder the hustle that you are doing because of the kids. And so if the kids can't get to see you, then what is the meaning of the hustle? Or if your hustle cannot transform them, if character cannot be built. So at CFK and what we are doing within the Sports for Peace and Development currently is all about character development. And so we are working with schools. We've got an approach called value-based sports, that is VBS, where we are using sports drills to teach life skill. We realize that the young people love playing. And so within these schools and also with the select community teams that we work with, we had a training where we trained the coaches on life skills, so that many a times, and many coaches within our community, all their focus has been about winning. So you train young people just to win, but you don't shape their character, the discipline in them, so you and do all that.
Character development as well.
We do character development, and that is now the niche that we want to run away with. Of course, you cannot do everything. You cannot do everything, and so we have identified ourselves with that, and just looking into how then we could still use the avenue and the power that comes with sports and talent, and still have an opportunity to influence and also give the young people hope that they desire as they move into the future.
Wow. Steve, do you have anyone commenting or asking any question for Kennedy? Not yet. Now, you have grown up in Kibera, you've passed through a lot of things, challenges. Is there any particular thing that you regret throughout your life? Something you did perhaps and you say, I ought not to have done this?
Well, I think what happened is that I went to marriage early.
Oh, you did? But again, how early was that? Like you yourself was young, or your wife?
No, we were both young.
Okay.
No, we were both young, and
at what age?
That was 26, 27.
Okay.
Yeah, which I still
feel like you are still young.
Yeah, but then I felt that I was still young. But again, when I look at the beauty of life, and what life has brought me, and where I am today, I do not regret.
You don't regret it again?
I don't regret it again.
You regret, but you don't regret.
Yes. At some point in life, I said, I would love to finish even the issues of getting kids at the age of 35. I walk around and I see people at 50, at 48, and walking with with small kids. And I'm saying, so for me, I call them the strengths of my youth.
The strength of your youth?
Yes.
How? Why?
My children are the strength of my youth.
Okay.
Because I got them when I was still energetic enough.
The strength of your youth.
Yes, and that has given me an opportunity that even moving into the future, and if God still provides me with an opportunity to live, then I'm still strong and I can look and take care of
your
them.
Kids.
Yes.
If there is any young youth out there who is around 26 like you are and is thinking of getting married, what would you advise them? To go ahead or not to go ahead?
Go ahead and do it. Things have changed. Things have changed. Okay. And I look at our time and now. You know, like even 5 years is a lot of time. 10 years. I'm now talking of 15 years.
Okay.
That is a lot of time. And during that time and now, and I look at the level at which young people are getting into maturity, and it is just amazing.
Things have changed.
And really alarming. Not just amazing, but also alarming.
Okay.
And so if one can decide to settle early, then the better.
The better.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it will give you an opportunity not to waste
time.
To waste time and also waste your precious life.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any best moments in life? Like, ukikumbuka unasema, this day I felt like...
I have best moments in life. When my firstborn was brought to life.
Okay.
When I became dad.
You became dad for the first time.
For the first time. When I went and checked and looked, and after some point, and the guys could also applaud me that you guys look alike. Then I said,
congratulations.
Then I said congratulations. My being with this community and working for Carolina for Kibera has also made me a global citizen, so to speak.
Okay.
Global in the sense that I've been able to rub shoulders with people from different walks of life.
How long have you been with CFK?
I've been with CFK now, 20 years now. 20 years,
that's a good long time.
Almost 20 years, not really 20 years, but because I came into CFK when CFK was like 3 years, they were going into their 4th year.
Okay.
And CFK just turned 20 or the other day. And so I came in as a volunteer. From 2004 all the way to 2008.
Okay.
Then again, post-election violence. As much as people complained, it also came out as one of the best moments in my life. because were it not for post-election violence, an initiative that was dubbed Jamia Kibera, that was meant to reconcile a community that was at war. Then Kennedy Juma could have not gotten employment with the CFK. And so for me, that was again, it was also a turning point in my life. That I went through a competitive process, applied. We had 2 phases of interview. The first phase, we were around 12 guys. I made it to round 2 where we were 5. And finally, I was settled on.
Okay.
And so I started working with the likes of Owino Kotieno, who were part of the project that I was running. They were community ambassadors. We worked with them, or training members of this community. Now, my good friend, congratulations, Senior Chief Nehemiah Mwacha. I call him the living prophet.
Okay.
I also worked with them, and that time they were like, they're older than me, but they were like, now I was working with me. And so I never wanted to say that I was their boss. But very respectable members of this community. And again, just getting out, and it is always an excitement, getting out of this country.
traveling out there
gave me an opportunity, and I passed through one of the busiest airports in the world.
Which one?
That is Heathrow.
Heathrow.
And I never got lost.
Okay. And was that your first time to ever travel outside?
I had only traveled to Tanzania.
Oh, okay. Tanzania is a bit easy.
I had only gone to Tanzania, which doesn't have a busy airport.
Yeah.
Even Jomo Kenyatta is busy.
Yeah.
And then I went to Heathrow. I went to Heathrow via, I was going to the US, but I passed through Heathrow. Yeah. So again, my 1 month stay in the US really opened doors. Opened doors because I've created friends from the diaspora. True. Of people that I never knew that I will meet in life. Okay. And we still keep tabs with them. We get to chat and exchange messages. I really had an opportunity. They gave me an opportunity when I was in the US. I had a very rigorous and intensive training where I was trained on as a TOT on leadership. Or something that I don't take for granted, because those are things that I practice and do as we speak, and that really influenced me. And just giving me an opportunity, not just to walk in one just in one state. I went around. I was in Washington DC. And really had good moments. For the first time, when I was a night to my travel to Washington DC, a call was made from Kenyan embassy in the US.
Traveling to Washington DC from where? From here?
From North Carolina.
Okay, from North Carolina.
Yeah, by road.
By bus, eh?
Yeah, no, just a personal car.
Ah, okay.
I was being driven by a colleague. Yeah, and when I was told that there's a letter, there's an email that has been sent from Kenyan embassy to us, because there's a documentary that we did called Without a Fight. That was back here in Kenya. That was showcasing the power of sports. In bridging issues of conflict and just keeping the community together. And I will look for a copy of that, and so that you could also. It is a 55-minute documentary. I need to watch it. Yeah, that featured Shofco FC and Mofire. Ah, okay. Yes, we were to travel with my good brother Okochoyamo, but the U.S. Embassy denied him visa. Yeah, so it was unfortunate that I had to travel alone. Yeah, but when I was there, I really enjoyed my stay. Email came from the embassy saying came from embassy saying, there's a young person that will be talking about some things related to post-election violence or in Kenya. They wanted to know the content and all that. And for the first time, I really felt big. So you were going to speak. I was going to speak in that forum and share about the post-election violence experience. And it was also good that someone from the embassy was also seconded to also come into that forum. Okay. Again, this was happening in Washington D.C. Was happening in Washington D.C. I had an opportunity to also visit the school where my namesake and my brother Kennedy Odede was schooling. Okay. That was in Wesleyan University. And it was a pleasure being there and getting to know and the work that he was doing and how the Wesleyan community was supporting the Shofco work back in our neighborhood. And he said, this is a small world. So those were good moments that I must talk about. And again, I also had an opportunity to also go represent again my organization in Berlin, Germany. That was in 2018. That again was a good show for me, and again just enriching my level in terms of interacting and also just seeing the world in a different lens. And getting to interact. When I was there, I met again a good friend whom we also grew with together. Here in Kibera? Here in Kibera. a former Harambee Stars player, that is Francis Ouma.
Okay.
He was
you
the
met
top,
in Berlin.
Yeah, he was the top scorer when Mathare United lifted Kenya Premier League back in 2008.
Yeah, I remember.
And we chatted, and he was like, "Hey, man, when you land in Berlin, holla me." Yeah. So he came.
Hollered him.
I hollered him.
You grabbed coffee or something.
Then he came. No, we
or
did.
He came to the same.
Yeah, he came to the hotel where I was, and then took me to where he felt I would enjoy life.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I went and found a Kenyan community in Berlin.
Oh.
And that was a happy moment. I grabbed some Tusker over there.
Oh, they have Tusker over there?
There's our Tusker and there's their Tusker.
Oh,
so more or less the same. Which was again a good moment, just getting in touch with the legends like Francis Ouma and just getting to know what he's up to in life and the struggles that are over there.
Yeah.
Yes, as far as Leavitt is concerned and stuff.
So this has given you an opportunity to be a global citizen, and Kibera has also molded you and shaped you to be who you are today, would you say?
Yes, largely. The knowledge and all that, the many things that I've learned in life have been shaped through this community. Through this community. Yeah. I'm a product of Kibera community.
You're a product of Kibera community, and you're proud of it.
And I'm proud of it.
Wow,
yes.
That's so deep.
Yes.
And then there came a sad moment. You lost your wife, beloved wife.
Yes.
How did that feel?
Painful, Josh. Painful. And I want to start by really thanking my colleagues and members of this community.
Those that stood with you.
People that stood with me, people that called me immediately. The likes of Moses Omondi, who was there with me from day one and even came for the last respect. This teacher called Ogira, who teaches at Magoso Primary. He was the chair of the funeral committee. We have Ruth Loco from Canaan Estate in Nyao High Rise. We got the likes of Andiwo, who resides in Olympic, and so many people that stood with me. We've got Ibrahim from KDI, Mweni, Reana.
And these have been your long-time friends, yeah?
These have been my long-time friends. These are people that have really been with me. But you asked me how was the feeling. The feeling was never easy, and it has never been easy. But some things, when they happen in life, what matters is acceptance. And I also looked at it and realized that it is not just me or about me, but it is about my family. And so I decided to be strong for my children. So that I see how I can take them to the next level. My wife had been on and off in terms of sickness. She had a problem that started with her sometimes in the year 2009 when we just got our second born son. And I never knew that it could turn up to be something that will really affect her life. And so a day, it was a New Year's Eve. It was on 31st. Then when she told me that she's going to bed. And I told her, because of the festive, and you know how kids, how they can decide to stay away. They are waiting for the clarion at 12.
At 12.
The shouting, New Year celebration. I decided to stay outside a little bit so that I could get control of them. And mobilize them so that they go back for sleep. So when I went back to the house, I found that the problem that she had been going through really came hard on her. and she had started biting her tongue and stuff. So I came in, did a bit of magic using spoons just to ensure that the separation, she doesn't continue. And it was almost 12. I was like, where do I head to for this? And she had friends. And so I called 2 of her friends who came, did prayers. She relaxed a little bit. Then the following day, I said, now we need to see on how we could get medication. And she was like, I'm tired with life. Just leave me. And I told her, no, you cannot just say that. We have to seek medical. And she was like, no, I just need people who can pray for me. I don't want to go to hospital.
All she needed was prayers.
All she needed, all she was asking were prayers. And so I told her, no, we need to seek medication. You need to see a doctor so that we could see on how you could be helped. So we went to St. Mary's.
The Otiende one?
The Otiende one. We got what I would term as a first aid, so to speak. And she was like coming back to normal, the way she was and stuff. Then we left Otiende. We left St. Mary's, brought her back into the house. This was now the night of the fast. Then she slept around. The following day, her condition worsened. When her condition worsened, I called for a taxi, called a few neighbors. 2 of them came. She could not take a shower, or they locked themselves with her, cleaned her, changed for her clothes. Then we left for Coptic. So when we left for Coptic, they examined her. Then after like an hour, I was called to come sign some documents. Then I was told that she was being taken to HDU. They even surpassed the ICU. You see, first you need to go to ICU. The HDU is now the intensive, more advanced. Those who are being taken to HDU. So I signed these papers and stayed there when they were still doing checkup back and forth until around 7 p.m. Then I had to leave in the evening. So when I left my contacts with the doctors who were handling her. Then at around 3:50, 2:50, not 3:50, 2:50 a.m., I received a call.
From the hospital? From the hospital.
And the lady who called me asked me, hey, you are Nicholas? I'm calling from Coptic. Then I was like, I really, there was a shiver that went through my body, and I was like, can you tell me why you've called me? It is 2:50 a.m. I left a patient with you guys. So just go ahead and tell me why you've called me at this point.
Go straight to the point.
Yes, just go straight to the point. And she was like, oh, can you make it to Coptic? Are you far? Where do you live? Then I hanged her call.
She's not telling you something.
She's not telling me anything. Then the kids were asleep, and I never interfered with their sleep. And so I just put on my clothes, wore my shoes, and left.
Walking. You tried to get a taxi or something?
The road was clean. I walked until along the bypass, the new bypass. And I met a young man who was motorbike, and I told him, hey, I knew him. I said, Mboma, drop me to Coptic. And I paid him 100 shillings on my arrival by the gate side. Then I told the Askaris that I've received a call, and I'm having a patient here. So they allowed me in. So Josh, when I walked in, and to my surprise, I found my wife surrounded by around 7 people.
Who are doctors or just ordinary?
Doctors. Some were clinicians, and they were all around her. And you know, in the HDU unit, these are someone who could not talk. It is the machine that does the talking.
And at
some point, and I went, I found them doing the necessary, whatever they could do, telling me that we are trying to resuscitate her, which was not forthcoming. Then at some point I left that room, and you see it is a room made of glass, so it is transparent. When you are out, you can see what is happening or inside. Yeah. Then I saw two of those who were surrounding her, removing their gloves and dumping in the dustbin. Then something told me that my wife is normal. Something just told me.
It's like in a manner to suggest that dumping their tools.
Yeah, they're dumping their tools. I again went back and walked. When I reached the door, something told me just go back to where you are standing, because I also wanted to just to give them time.
Give them time,
so that they
do their work.
They do their work. And when I saw someone lowering the bed, because they had brought the bed up, and so the switch so that the bed goes down, then I started walking, leaving the room. Then I saw two of them running behind me, and they were like, come back. Then they took me to one of there's a strong room there, and they sat me down, and they were like, the doctor who was in charge was like, hey, we are sorry for all this. Where do you reside? Can you call someone to accompany you back home and stuff? Then I told them, if that is the news that you guys have, then let me see my wife for the last time. Then I went back to that room. Then just touched her face, did the short prayer that I could. I was strong.
You were strong?
I was strong. Okay. There's that energy that I just acquired. I never knew where it came from. I think the Rasta in me.
Sometimes
I just decided to be strong and brave, because if you are not strong for yourself, who will be strong for you? So I decided to take that deliberate move. They talked to me, then I left. I left, called my brother, whom I mentioned to you, who lives in Eastlands. I told him, your shemeji is normal, but I don't want you to break this news now. Let us wait for dawn. Yes. Then I told him, you will call mom. I told him to call my mom and inform him of what had happened. So the most challenging bit of it that I had was now with the kids. My second born son asked me a question, why their mother has died. That was a very difficult question for me. Asked me, Baba, why is Mama gone? I never had an immediate answer.
On the very day you came from the hospital? Or?
On the very day, immediately, and how when the news is out, and friends and neighbors, I don't live in a gated community.
They start coming in.
People start streaming in and crying loud. You can't control them. And the kids also woke up from their sleep. And they realize, hey, all this is happening in our house. And so they also went into tears. And I just encouraged them. I told my brother, just let them cry.
Let them cry.
But I put them in the bedroom, told them, just be with William.
Cry
William is my brother. You see, when you cry, you relieve.
Get it out.
You get it out. And so it was a really painful moment, but I want to thank my brothers, because they stood with me. This was January, a day to opening of schools. Everyone is busy preparing their kids to go back to school. Some of my good friends whom I have were also enrolling their kids to Form 1, and you can imagine how tiresome and involving that is. But despite all that, and it came in January, when the festive was just getting over, and people getting back to work, and people have used the little resources that they had.
Very hectic.
Very hectic. But I must also get to thank one man who called me and told me that at 3 p.m. come check on me. and that is none other than our Honorable Member of Parliament, Imran Okoth, who called me and told me at 3 a.m.
Come check on me. And 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. He was also touched in the sense that he was just coming from the death of the brother. Yeah. And you see, when you go through this, you get a lot of lessons and things to share. And so we locked ourselves in a boardroom just within the DC at the NGCDF offices for close to half an hour. Him just talking to me and giving me encouragement and telling me to just do the necessary, use as little time as you can. People will come, people will give you a lot of ideas, see the ideas that work, and see on how you can move on with your life.
True.
And also told me, because of financial constraints, that he was willing and able to come and preside over a mini Arambe that I will organize to help me boost the funeral kitty, so that I could take my wife home without taking much time. And I thank God we only took 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Doing the funeral arrangements, and Mheshimiwa came in handy and organized for an Arambe, and through that I was able to get off the hook and had an opportunity to give my beloved wife a decent send-off. Yes.
And now it was sad, and that happened. Yes. And you have been trying to move on. I know it's not easy, but it takes time to heal. Sometimes it may not even heal, but you have to cope.
You have to, that is the word. You just have to cope and also believe that
and
accept, because those who are gone are gone. It is the work of those who are behind to see on how they can push the wheel. And so that is again the beauty of life. Yes.
And now you continue living with your kids. 4.
Yes. Currently, as I speak, I'm the father and I'm the mother. At the same time, we are getting along well. It has a myriad of challenges. At times also, people don't see you with the same lens they used to see you when your wife was there. A bit of discrimination comes also in handy. People see you as you are not complete.
There is. You are not complete.
You are not complete.
Some incompleteness.
There is some incompleteness within you because you are lacking your partner.
But does this make you think of getting another wife, perhaps?
It will take time. It will take time. The focus right now is the young people. I have my boy is going to do class 8, and he will be transitioning to Form 1. I need to, and these were, when we are growing up, and even in the African setup, I don't know whether it is a global thing, so to speak, that boys are always aligned to their mom as opposed to dad. And the girls are
I see that.
The daughters are for their fathers. But I'm kind of seeing
case is different.
I'm seeing the opposite. Yes, they used to be very close with their mom. But again, I took time and gave them an assurance that I'm not going to disappoint them.
I'll be here for you.
I'm going to be here for you. And so come 2nd of January, I think we will be doing now 2 years. Yes. But I must say that God has been gracious. God has been good to my side. We've not lacked so much. And I've been able and present. The only thing that it has really changed my life. Yes, it has changed my life greatly. There are things that I really used to enjoy or do,
but now you can't.
Some have reduced.
Yeah, and also there are things that you used not to do, and now you are forced to do.
Now I'm forced to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think from your background of undergoing some trainings on peace building and conflict resolution, leadership, that also helped you somehow on even how to manage the kids and how to manage their hopes, and like even the issue of letting them cry. You know, this is something that is important, but some people will say, stop crying, stop crying. No, just let them cry. Sure. Cry it out so that it goes. Otherwise, the more you hold it or the more you stop them from crying, the more it affects them. So I think that also must have helped you. Yes. In so many ways. Anyway, moving from the sad, you love football. So which teams are you? Which teams do you support in Kibera, in Kenya, and out there, English Premier League? Starting from Kibera.
Yeah, so in Kibera, I'm a staunch supporter of Kibera United.
Kibera United?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a staunch supporter of Kibera United. Yeah. And I think nothing is changing. Yeah. Whether we've not climbed the ladder or to the next level where we are, or I think that is where my heart is in terms of the teams that I support. I really don't really shout it loud. Yeah. But I think now on this show, people will now know that Kennedy Juma supports Kibera United. Wow. The next team that I also support and that is in the league is Shofco. Shofco. Yeah. Many young players who are featuring for Shofco are young people that I've seen grow. Yeah. We've walked the journey together even with their coaches.
Nurtured them or mentored them at some point.
Some are from my neighborhood. Yeah. And I also like their style of play. Okay. Yes, and how they organize themselves.
Steve, are you Kibera United? I see you are smiling.
I just wanted to ask now that we'll have a new derby between Kibera United
and Shofco. Which one will you support? Now that Gogo Boys have climbed the ladder and we are left with Kibera United.
I wish Gogo Boys well. Yeah. But still again with Kibera United and Shofco, I think I'm just torn apart. I'll just be going for let the best team win at the end of the day.
Okay. I think that will be torn in between.
Yeah, I'll be torn in between. That will be one of the exciting derbies that we will also be left with. Yes. And I'm also glad that Kibera Soccer has also climbed, and we will be having a good test of soccer. Premier League. Kenya Premier League. I support. My first team is Gor Mahia.
Gor Mahia.
Yeah, I support Gor Mahia.
KCB
and Kenya Commercial Bank. I don't know why you are reading my mind. Yeah. So I support Gor Mahia and KCB. Okay. Yes.
That's great. Do you go to the field, Kiwanja, to watch?
Yes, I go to the fields to watch these games, and it has always been a pleasure. Sometimes I also take my sons, but I look at the fixture. I take them too.
If it's Derby, Gor Mahia versus FC Leopards,
that we stay. That I go and they stay at home.
They stay. Yes. It can turn out to be anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Then English Premier League.
Yeah, English Premier League. I'm a diehard of Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kwenda na kurudi. Yeah, that is where I belong, and I don't regret. Okay. And I like Manchester United like now when everyone is against us. Yeah, when people hate, the moment the hate increases, my love for Manchester doubles. Yes, so that is where I belong, and I
think the Manchester United fans who are watching are really happy now and smiling. You be some Manchester United, I know he's now very happy man.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Steve, did we have anything? Someone saying anything? Henry from Darajani, is he watching us today or not? Let's see. Let's check if there is anyone watching. Japheth Owio wants a t-shirt. Okay. Japheth Owio, you are too little, too late, but we will see what to do. Okay, Kennedy, now we are, as we wind up, is there anything else that you wanted to add? But before you add, is there something that people don't know about you that you would want people to know? Or you think that people knows everything about you?
No, people do not know everything about me.
Yeah.
One, I'm a public speaker.
Oh, you are a public speaker, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a public speaker. I love microphones.
Where did you learn public speaking, or it's just something in you?
Your public speaking in me started during my early days from primary.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was in class 6, when I was in class 6, I was the secretary general of our debating club.
Okay.
So it is me who could write motions and stuff and organize young people to go for those debates. The doctor is better than a teacher.
Yeah.
And so many.
Boarding school is better than day school.
Then I also had some leadership stint. One of my teachers, he was my music and English teacher.
Yeah.
He passed on sometimes this year. He was a former immediate Secretary General of NAT, Bondo branch, Mr. Ndolo, who also made me the prefect for what we will call LRC. Yeah. It was a learning resource center that we had within the schools.
Okay.
So that is where my leadership started. And when I transitioned to high school, I became again the Secretary General of the debating club in my high school.
At high school,
Akoko.
Yeah.
Became the chair of the debating club.
Yeah.
A member of drama club.
Wow.
Then I was again chosen to be, when I joined Form 3, then I now became the school captain.
Oh.
So I was.
So this leadership thing has been in you.
Yes, it has been
coupled up with the public speaking.
Yes. Good. So, and again, something, I also love books.
Oh, you love reading?
I love reading. I love reading. I was one of the few guys who could have the newspapers after the teachers were done. Oh. See, when you are in school. Yeah. Once the teachers are done in the staff room with the newspaper, then it could land, and the many few people that it could land on their hands was myself and other colleagues. And I also love making friends. Okay. I'm one man who speaks it as it is. And so many a times people may think that I'm blushing them, but that has not always been the case. Yeah, you just speak the way it is. And the jokes that I make where the Inglu in me, I like speaking a bit of English, and so many people are like, hey, Kennedy, you can't say sentences without putting some English in it. So those are things that people get to know. But I'm a loving father. And I'm also a go-getter. So those are some of the things that
unajituma.
Nimejituma juu usipojituma utatumwa. Just the same music that is now hitting the highways. Kupangwa.
Pangwingwi.
Wengine wapangwingwi. And if you agree to be kupangwa, utapangwa. Okay. Wow. But all in all, Josh, I love this community. I love this community. Many a times in early days when you walk into a forum, could be outside Kibera, and when you stand and the first thing you introduce yourself, and people will not even be comfortable. But I want to make it straight that Kibra got talent. And talent is something that is inborn, and the community or the environment that you hails from or hails in should not really define you.
Who you are.
Yes.
Or who you become.
Or whom you become. But I've seen selfless people coming from this community big brains coming from this community, and really offering a transformational agenda of our community. And I want just to also encourage the young people and the population that we have within the Kibera community that we are blessed. Blessed in the sense that with the new structures that we have, we've got around, we've Lindi, Lenisaba, we've got Sarangombe, we've got Makina, and we've got also Woodley. Those are 5 elective positions. For that wards we've been given to elect our leaders. So as we move in even into the new year and into the election period, let us be sober enough and really see for those who have worked well in those respective wards, if they so feel that they need to be given opportunity to still keep on leading, then so be it. And if we need to change, let us have soberness while even changing the leaders that we have soberly. We also have another elective position that is really vibrant, member of parliament. So these are 6 positions, 6 job opportunities that we should not allow to be used by people who are just passing by and making noise. It is us, Kiberians. Why will you elect someone that when he passes, 5 or 10 women cry that their phones are gone? No, those are not the leaders that we are focusing moving into the future. And so I want to just to challenge our community. Let us mean well for everyone. Let us offer criticism where it deserves. If it is positive, we'll applaud. If it is negative, that is just looking at the gaps that are in existence. And through that, we can be able to transform and change the community that we have. Yes.
Wow. That's so deep and very powerful. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. It has been very nice listening to Nicholas Kennedy Juma, telling us his own stories and sharing a lot of his personal journey and personal life story to us. This can only happen at Sisi Mtani Kibera News Network live on YouTube from Uweza Foundation. Till we meet again next week with our new guest, it has been me, Ogure Joshua. Thank you very much and bye-bye.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, for having me. Thank you once again.